Yeah, remind you now, he only weighed 144, so he was basically 10 pounds, basically under the weight. But he wiped it out.
A much smaller guy because he's at the end of the road, but the fight so big and the money is so big, he's going to have to take it. I bet he retires after that fight.
Canelo has to start playing catch up in rounds 4, 5, 6. Believe me, by the 7th round, Canelo is going to be a little muscle, right? We've seen that.
Shannon Sharpe strongly warned Canelo Alvarez about the risks of facing Terence Crawford, suggesting the fight could end badly for Canelo and potentially signal the end of his dominance in the boxing world. Sharpe emphasized Crawford's superior speed, skill, and stamina, implying that the bout could be more than just a simple loss. Meanwhile, Canelo revealed he now has a retirement plan, reflecting on his 2-decade-long career as a professional boxer. He admitted that after so many years in the ring, the desire to explore life beyond boxing has grown stronger, and at times, he simply wants to do something different with his time.
Has retirement ever crossed your mind? Have you ever thought about that?
I always say like 37 is good time to go. And it's not because I can be in the boxing anymore, but sometimes you need to do something else. So I'm being in October I turned 20 years as a professional fighter. So a lot of years. So
Eddie Hearn, longtime promoter and close insider to Canelo Alvarez's career, has sparked fresh speculation by suggesting that the upcoming fight with Terence Crawford could be Canelo's final bout. According to Hearn, the Mexican superstar may be nearing the end of his legendary journey, and the Crawford challenge might serve as the ultimate test that signals his retirement. This statement carries weight, as Hearn has been by Canelo's side through multiple phases of his career and understands the immense physical and mental toll the sport has taken on him. After nearly 2 decades in the professional ring, Canelo could be seeking closure through this fight, potentially ending his career against one of the most technically brilliant boxers of this.
Do you see that fight now differently based on how Canelo performed against Scully?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah? Oh, wow.
It wasn't just the fact that he couldn't cut the ring off. I just feel like the timing now, the age, Canelo is amazing. I mean, not just because of his ability and what he's come from, but the fact that he still has the desire for those training camps and those fights. I just feel like that desire might be fading. Not because of his love, but just because of age and life. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, the Crawford fight will definitely get him up for it. But I was actually watching that fight and I wouldn't be surprised if he retired. And actually didn't fight Crawford, because I don't think he'll want to lose Crawford, a much smaller guy, because he's at the end of the road. But the fight so big and the money is so big, he's going to have to take it. I bet he retires after that fight.
Canelo's recent performances against John Ryder and, more notably, William Skull have raised concerns to Eddie Hearn, who observed clear signs of aging, including slower combinations, diminished head movement, and a noticeable drop in punching power. The once feared explosiveness that defined Canelo's mid-career appears to be fading. Bernie, a close member of Terence Crawford's team, expressed immense confidence in Crawford's ability to beat Canelo, going beyond calling him great and labeling him a legend. Even more surprising is the shift among Mexican fans. While Canelo remains a national icon, some loyal supporters are beginning to lean toward Crawford, not just out of fandom but because of skill, momentum, and hunger. Bernie highlighted how Crawford's recent performances have earned global respect, and even Canelo's camp recognizes a threat Bud poses. When admiration begins to transcend borders and loyalty, it speaks volumes about the kind of legacy Terence Crawford is building.
Yeah, good. So you're not going to beat me. I guarantee I'm going to beat you. So you know what I'm saying? That's how Crawford is. That's how he feels. He believes in his heart. And you can tell it. You can look him in his eyes. You know what I mean? And a lot of people believe that Crawford will win this fight. And that a lot of Mexican people. Yeah, they're supporting him. They're supporting him. They got their formula why Crawford will beat him. But it's a tremendous fight. I think Canelo, like I say, is a living legend. you know, and everything that he do. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of Mexicans don't like him, but I love him. I think he does everything good in the ring. You know, he swags and everything. I just love Canelo. I can't take it away from him. You know, he had the little allegations and everything, and that's a damper on him. But I try not to focus on that. You know what I mean? I know he got in there with the baddest guys, the toughest guys, and he came through with flying colors. So I give him all the credit. Going up there fighting B-Ball when nobody knew who B-Ball really wasn't paying attention to him. That man was a 25-year-old champion, the reigning champion, title defense under his belt, and young and good. And Canelo fought him. You know what I'm saying? That was a challenge. You feel me? At the height, at the reach, had a lot of, you know what I mean? So I give Canelo a number of credit. I thank him for allowing us to get this fight. And you see what Crawford said. I didn't get to get, you know, Canelo got to fight these guys with the name. I didn't necessarily get to fight all the guys with the name when I wanted to, but I got him.
Yeah,
that's the. I was coming around full circle. The guy got to put nobody to be against you. So, I think he's the most deserving fighter of that outside of Benavidez. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Besides that, but Benavidez still doesn't bring the super fight dynamic to it. It's a really good fight with Benavidez, but this is a super fight. We have legends fighting him. David Benavidez has yet to become a legend. He's still growing in the sport. Crawford is a legend. 14 years in the sport, 10 years as champion, 11 years going on. You understand? Undisputed 2 different times, fighter of the year, all those different things. So, like I said, the mystique of Crawford is legend in itself. The mystique of Crawford. So, I mean, you know, so it's a super fight. Again, I thank Canelo Alvarez for taking the fight.
Former middleweight champion Kelly Pavlik offered a blunt and honest assessment of the matchup, going against popular belief by labeling Terence Crawford as a bigger man, not in size, but in strength and effectiveness inside the ring. Pavlik emphasized Crawford's raw talent, tactical control, and exceptional physicality, highlighting the attributes that make him such a dangerous opponent. More notably, his critique of Canelo focused on a noticeable shift in style. Pavlik observed that in recent fights, Canelo has fought conservatively, seemingly more concerned with avoiding defeat than dominating or knocking out his opponents. According to Pavlik, that approach may not be enough against someone as hungry and dynamic as Crawford. The contrast he draws is striking. While one man is climbing toward greatness, the other appears to be trying to hold...
He's a great fighter. I mean, that's it. Crawford is so talented. He's got so much ability in boxing, his boxing ability. And he's a bigger guy, too. He's almost every bit as big as Canelo, right? So that's what makes it tough. Like, yeah, Canelo's used to fighting guys coming down from 200, probably, you know, at light heavyweight. And Crawford ain't. But it's just too hard to pick on because of Crawford's ability and boxing skills. I'm not going off of Canelo's last fight. You know, the guy he was fighting was in survival mode, pretty much. He was just fighting not to get knocked out. When you fight a guy like that, you're not going to look good, right? I don't care what anybody says. When you fight a guy that's running around trying to survive, it makes it hard. So I don't go off of that, but this fight is going to be interesting. I mean, I would almost have to kind of lean with Canelo, but I'm not making that pick. Just saying, guys, nobody come at me. I'm going to sit back and enjoy this one, not worrying about anybody, you know, saying, hi, you're wrong, or talking. But it'll be a good one.
Renowned trainer Robert Garcia added fuel to the conversation by agreeing with the notion that Canelo Alvarez has clearly moved away from his once aggressive, knockout-driven style. Garcia put it plainly, Canelo is tired. Having fought professionally since his teenage years, Canelo has carried the grind of boxing on his shoulders for nearly 2 decades. The sharp precision and calculated risk that defined his early career have gradually given way to a more cautious, energy-preserving approach aimed at minimizing damage. Garcia's statement isn't a criticism. It's an acknowledgement of the physical toll the sport has taken on Canelo. After enduring countless battles and carrying the weight of boxing superstardom, the wear and tear is now visibly surfacing in the ring.
Why is it that Shiraz was able to knock out Berlanga but not Canelo? Because Canelo doesn't go out for the knockout anymore. Canelo's just now, you know, we've seen in the last few fights, he just does enough to win. He did the same against Munguia. He dropped Munguia, but then they didn't want to finish with Carlo Berlanga. He wants to cruise to the fight. You know, he's up there, you know, in not in age because he's only like 33 or 34, but he's fighting since 15, a lot of training camps, a lot of sparring matches. So all that takes a lot out of your body. So he takes care of his body too. So he doesn't go all out because he doesn't want to just finish his body. He knows he still has a few more years and a few big fights where he wants to take care of himself and not punish himself too much. That's why he hasn't been able to knock him out. Not because he can't. I think he just does enough to win. I think Shiraz also has great power, man. I think Shiraz has the power that nobody believed he had.
Popular analyst Showbiz the Adult described a potential Crawford versus Canelo fight as history-making, emphasizing that a victory over Canelo, one of boxing's biggest global icons, would elevate Terence Crawford to legendary status. At this point, it's no longer just about titles, it's about cementing a lasting legacy. However, Showbiz also highlighted the double-edged nature of greatness, warning that if Crawford dominates too thoroughly, conspiracy theories could emerge, with skeptics questioning how a smaller fighter could outclass someone of Canelo's caliber. In today's social media-driven world, greatness often attracts suspicion, and the bigger the victory, the louder the backlash. For Crawford, this bout could mark both the pinnacle of a career and the beginning of a narrative battle he'll have to face long after the final bell.
Going to attempt to do something that is so incredible, so magnificent, so amazing as a fighter and for his legacy, and trying to beat Canelo Alvarez, the 168-pound undisputed champion. My fear is, if he does that, if he accomplishes that, if he is able to succeed in accomplishing such a magnificent goal, people will immediately discredit Terence Crawford and his victory, calling him a drug cheat.
Veteran sports commentator Stephen A. Smith, known for his candid and bold takes, offered a clear prediction. He sees Terence Crawford winning the fight on points. According to Smith, Crawford's discipline, exceptional ring IQ, and ability to control the tempo give him a strong advantage that could lead to a unanimous decision victory over the bigger but slower Canelo. While acknowledging that Canelo remains a dangerous opponent, Smith noted a visible dip in his output in recent fights, something Crawford could capitalize on, especially in a bout that goes the full 12 rounds. A decision win in such a high-stakes clash would not only solidify Crawford's reputation as the best active fighter today, but also secure his place among the greats of the modern era.